What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Horror Nights Unscripted. I'm one of your hosts, Scott from SoCalExploring.
I'm Michael from Hallowed Thrills.
And I'm Adrian from LoshTV.
And we are Horror Nights Unscripted. What are we doing today, boys?
Creating HHN.
There you go. I forgot
HHN.
it. Because we've been talking about a bunch of these rebuilding ideas and everything. I completely forgot the name of ours.
Speaking of rebuilding things, hold on. You guys can go check out Michael's new Fantasyland videos. Just a shameless plug for my boy right there.
Blowing up.
Thank you.
Real quick. Creating HHN Part 3. We did the Orlando event. If you guys aren't familiar with Creating HHN, we have made up our own event for both Orlando and Hollywood. So if you want to check out Part 1 and 2 for Orlando, go ahead and click the link down below in the description if you're listening on YouTube. So today, Losh and Michael are going to be presenting two mazes, one show and one scare zone. I'm going to be presenting one maze, one show, and one scare zone for our not dream, but just like our makeshift Hollywood event. If you guys are listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening, give us a rating, because one thing that I realized is Apple Podcasts is like the rating feature. So you can actually rate our show and leave some nice feedback down below if you so do incline. Where can they find our Horror Nights Unscripted social media at, Adrian?
They can find either Instagram or Twitter. It's the same thing. It is HHN Unscripted.
And we're posting sneak peeks on there.
Yeah, if you guys want to see little teaser videos of everything, you can check that out. You could also go to our channels individually as well, like our Instagram or Twitter. Our Instagrams are all LoshTV, that's me, SoCalExploring, and Hallowed Thrills.
Yep. There's always merches down below in the description as well. But let's get into it, shall we? Who wants to go first? I'll go last. Who wants to go first? First maze. I'm thinking
Might as well get it out of the way. Get it out of the way.
Who's getting what out of the way?
You know what's getting up.
I see what you're talking about. All right, Michael, you kick us off.
Oh, I'm going to kick off all right, before I kick anything off, though, I will say these mazes and everything that we've been doing for this whole entire series have been made for like months.
Yeah, like this has been like 3 months.
Like this has been like this has been done. This was done way before the final like speculation map was put out for like names of the houses that were supposed to come. That being said, I created a house that's very similar to a certain house that was supposed to be at Orlando's event this year. But this house is called Marionette Madness. So Marionette Madness is based in an abandoned children's theater in Germany. So you find yourself at the entrance of the old Haussmann Children's Theater, which has been abandoned since the fire of 1892. Upon entering the building, you immediately travel backstage, where you find the areas cluttered with old hanging puppets and trunks of costumes. The further you travel backstage, the more puppets appear, but something doesn't seem right. There's a reason that this theater has been abandoned for this long, and as you start to hear the laughs of children, and you swear, you start to see the puppets moving. As you plunge further and further into the darkness, you try to find your way out. And as children's nursery songs continue to flow around you and follow you around every corner, the puppets start to come alive, and you start to notice that some of these puppets look too lifelike and detailed. And that's when you realize that you will become the next puppet to join the show.
Ooh. Sounds a lot like Puppet Theater.
Shut up.
Sounds like a very captive audience.
Sounds like a very captive audience.
This entire thing was written down months ago.
Audience in that pitch, Michael.
It's Marionette Madness. It's all about puppets. It's not about the theater.
It's not about theater. He has a point.
It's about puppets and children's nursery rhymes, and how terrifying it can be. And that you get turned into puppets.
And in Germany.
And it's in Germany. It is in Germany, yes.
Where do you have this one on the map at? Because I am
This
the
one
Hollywood
was-
expertise, so now I actually know what I'm talking about compared to when we're
Listen,
doing
I don't
the
know
Orlando
anything that's
version.
going on here.
Yeah, where is this located? Because I don't remember.
Here, I'll pull,
I
I'll
will
pull
I
up the
will
map
send
right
you
now.
the map right now.
Okay, Marionette Madness is one of the backlot mazes. It is, if I'm reading it correctly, where Ghostbusters was last year. Or the year before, since we didn't have an event this year.
But any questions about Marionette Madness?
So what are some of the scenes that differ from the puppet theater that we saw from Orlando's teaser?
So I don't really have anything as far as like scenes, although like it's honestly, I want it to be like, as you get further and further to the end, like I said, you plunge into the darkness. I want it to be more of those, the dark, as I called it, ASM horror scenes from the Graveyard Games last year, where it was just a dark hallway and they had speakers that were just having like children laughing and everything like in your ears.
That makes sense.
But like that's what you're doing, like as you're plunging further and further into the darkness. So I mean, it gives some sort of use to Black Wallz.
So that audio increases in volume and makes you more aware as you travel into the darkness of Black
yes,
Wallz.
but
Nice.
you see, unlike
But instead, these would be black curtains.
these would be black curtains. But unlike how they did it with Graveyard Games, where absolutely nothing popped out. People are going to pop out in this area, and it's going to be terrifying.
Well, yeah,
And that makes sense because the black walls in Hollywood, 9 times
Well,
out of 10, there's a scare
that's
at the end
exactly
of the
what I
hallway.
was gonna say. Like you
Yeah.
gotta, in this case scenario for part 3 and 4 of creating HHN, some of the scenes will be based off of like Black Wallz and such. So you talking about those audio cues playing is like a perfect set in a Hollywood maze. Those black walls with the audio playing, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere there's a boo hole with one of these puppets.
So I will be taking a house that I never got to experience in Orlando, but it was at my first year. It will be the Cabin in the Woods. Essentially just going to take the entire movie and put it in a house. The best scenes, I'm talking about the facade itself. Well, I'm not sure if
This
we
is
have
where
it
the
located.
tram garage is at.
This is where the tram garage is at?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
there's plenty
it's
of room
gonna
for a
be-
facade there.
It's going to be the cabin. The facade's going to be the cabin. It's going to have the truck parked out front. And then outside, you know how they usually have someone that's like a password guy? It's going to be people dressed up in suits that are working with the people that please the gods in Kevin. And you tell them different movie titles or different like scenarios, not scenarios, but like characters. And they will give you a pamphlet for like something or a movie poster. Basically, you know how they always
Despicable
do that
Me.
with the Purge. Exactly. A Despicable Me minion. They'll give you a full-size minion.
Yeah, a full-size
home.
plush minion, 25 inches.
No, not a plush. An actual minion.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So I'm gonna be holding a little dude moving and shaking and he's yellow.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because he's
nice.
going to help you get through the house. No. But it's basically going to be scene for scene from the movie. And of course, being in Hollywood, we're going to have to utilize some black walls. So we're going to have the black wall scares be some of, the Purge scene? When they push the button.
What, in
the
a
little red
maze
button.
or in the movie?
No, in the actual movie, there's a button they push and it says like it's a purge button and it opens up the elevators.
Oh,
in Anarchy?
Oh,
No,
he's
in
talking
Cabin in the
about
Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. He's not talking about Purge as in the Purge movie.
I was like, what are you
But
talking about?
the button is a purge button.
No, I know
Yeah.
I know what you mean now. I was just so confused with that.
You're gonna walk past the scene where you see the actor press the button. You're gonna hear elevator dings, and those dings are gonna be the cues for the scares in the black walls.
That'd be cool.
And kind of give you a little audio visual kind of.
Mm-hmm. Projection mapping too in the Black Walls.
I mean, we're not doing projection mapping. I'm sorry.
No, man, you just get Black Walls.
Black walls.
Damn.
You get what you get. You don't get upset.
My expectations were low, but holy.
Nice.
Man. But yeah, pretty much just bringing that movie to life.
See, the thing with the tram garage is if it's not on an elevated platform, then it would work so well to put the cabin as a facade. Because with the elevated platform there, with Pandora's Box and Us, it made kind of a restriction on how big they can do the facade. But without it, I feel like they can put the whole ass cabin there. That'd be so cool. Like, I mean, well, no, the cabin doesn't really look like that. But I'm thinking, like, if they do some bit of detail, like your guys' Texas Chainsaw Massacre facade, the one that was in the sprung tent. Yeah, some level of detail like that would come out really nice.
Where it looked like it was the house, but it was very small in scale, but it felt big.
Yeah, exactly. So like even on the YouTube videos I looked at, like it looked like it was pretty big. But I'm sure it was smaller in person. But okay, so you watched the walkthrough, right, Losh? Mm-hmm. So what would you do differently compared to that walkthrough?
I wouldn't change much. That's literally a perfect depiction of that movie. It would just be the difference in the purge scenes, like the purge scenes. That's
because Hollywood's cheap, so.
Not that it's cheap. I feel like that would be a very unique way to use the walls.
Yeah, I mean they're always talking about how it's transitions, but there's also other stuff they can use for it.
Exactly.
I feel like you should probably was in the original maze. Did they include any of like the ending scene with the actual altars?
No, they didn't. That's right.
That's what I feel like. You should include that.
That should be at the end of the maze.
Yeah, because I feel didn't they end the maze with the purge scene?
Yeah, they did.
With the elevators.
They ended it with the elevators, like after.
Yeah, with the elevators.
Where was it? Where was it at in Orlando?
It was in a soundstage. It was in soundstage 22, I think, or 21. Now that you say that, a good way to end it. I know that Murdy likes to continue stories from a movie.
Mm-hmm.
He could continue it on after that scene and have it play out what happens with the gods and the titans.
Yeah, where they rip the world apart.
Yeah.
The world apart, and you get to see what they actually look like.
That's true. Like with the whole Blumhouse situation, and he tried to do that whole girl story at the end of it. Yeah, I can see that. That'd be cool. And that'd leave open space for another maze in the future. So, possibilities endless.
I still feel like they should make a second movie.
Yeah. When was that movie made?
2011, 2010?
I was going to say it was pretty recent, huh?
Hold up.
Well, the fact that they capitalized on that so fast in Orlando.
2011. Oh, I have 2011.
Oh, I have 2005.
2011. 2011.
Yeah.
It was made in 2011, and then it was released in
2012.
Well, I feel like there's plenty of room then for a second movie to come out eventually. Like I'm sure
rated 92 on Rotten Tomatoes, and they didn't come out with a second one.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Tisk,
it's on Netflix still, right? I think it's still on Netflix. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it was on Netflix for a while. I think it's still maybe.
I don't know.
So, now getting to my maze, which I'm very passionate about. I really like this. Okay. Now I had to take a cool down on what I was writing in here because I think that's a little bit too far. This is Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. It's not happy and jolly like you guys think. All right. Travel into the Grinch's lair atop of Mount Crumpet, but beware as there's a surprise and a scare hiding around every corner. Based off the 2020 holiday classic, or 2000 holiday classic, the story of this Halloween Horror Nights experience takes place the year leading up to when the Grinch stole Christmas from the Who's down in Whoville. During the film, we start to see the soft and emotional side of him come out in the spirit of Christmas. However, what we didn't see is the psychotic breakdown leading up to the Christmas season. Witness the Grinch like you've never seen him before, and not in a good way, I may add. This maze will truly make you rethink about the menacing green creature that we have all grown to love today. So, basically, right, the Grinch is having a mental breakdown. But it's not a mental breakdown. It's a psychotic breakdown. So let me tell you a little bit about the facade. So the facade is the obviously massive Mount Crumpet, and the lair door is what you enter in. The door is going to be open, but in the lower door is going to be green smoke blowing out, to kind of get you in that feel that you're going to the Grinch's lair. Also to kind of blind you, because who doesn't love blinding people in Horror Nights mazes? I know I do. To the side of the facade is a Grinch scare actor making fun of guests as they walk into his lair using the big the Grinch-shaped megaphone that Max was using in the film to scare away the Who's when they're up there. The one that kind of looked like him. So he's going to be there interacting with guests, similar to like what Beetlejuice was doing at your guys' house this year. The first room is a green LED vortex tunnel that will change frequently to a picture of a demented-looking Grinch from the original cartoon, serving as one of the first jump scares. So this isn't going to be just like your typical vortex tunnel. It's going to have LED screens used to bring it to life. Obviously, just purely green, and then that jump scare of the menacing Grinch pop out of nowhere. Max is only disguised as a dog, but he's actually a terrifying green creature with spikes going down his back. And he only transforms into a dog when the Grinch is happy. So obviously, the Grinch is very angry and is having a psychotic breakdown. So he's this green creature, right? And as he gets more... he transforms into the more demented version of himself as he gets more lonely and starts to turn crazy. Similar to the cotton candy cocoons that we see in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, we see the Who's trapped in candy cane cocoons. So a little bit more about this maze. In every single room, you're going to see just the level of the Grinch is a psychotic self start to transform to even more crazy. We're going to see the monkey with symbols in there as a scare, as a giant puppet scare. You know, the one where, where the Grinch is like hitting himself with it. So maybe we'll see that scene play out. But in every single room, you'll see like more blood coming down him, or like his eye ripped out in another scene. And then Max will come out as a puppet. Yes, Adrian.
Can we have him smashing a Who with the...
Oh, that would be wonderful with the symbols. That would be so good. I think that one of the last scenes, it'll show him kind of having that soft and emotional side, but then all of a sudden the lights flicker and he turns into this green giant who's super scary. Maybe he's walking behind that curtain like when he's changing his clothes in the film, and you can see him turn bigger. Or maybe from that same scene where he's acting like he's like being possessed, that could be in there too, just to play into the storytelling aspect of it. And originally, like when I was designing this maze, I was gonna go with the route of just making the entire 2000 film scary. Like, oh, maybe there's a demented Santa Claus that the Grinch is trying to fight with or stuff like that. But I'm like, why don't I just give it its own twist? You know, it can still have the scary Jim Carrey version of the Grinch while also having a new storyline. And honestly, if in some world they were to ever consider this, I think that my idea is a good idea. So, any questions?
But
I don't know.
Are you gonna include the best scene from the movie?
Which one?
Which would be, ooh, ah, ee. All right, that's it. I'm not going.
Yes. You're gonna see him, take that German guy who's blowing the horn, and he's gonna like stab him with the horn, and then he's gonna go do that. It's one of those comedical aspects of it,
That's it. I'm not going.
He's gonna do a Leatherface thing where he takes the skin off the dude's face and uses it as a mask. Plot twist: he made that mask in the beginning of the film out of that German's face. Just saying.
Yeah, wears it and then goes da hoo da re.
Copyright! Please don't copyright us, Universal. Please, please don't copyright us. UMG, I know you're watching. God, UMG. This is located in the soundstage location, Soundstage 29 next to Transformers, our only soundstage location in the recent years. So you can definitely play a little bit with the weather effects in there. Yeah, you can have snow. You can have it smelling like candy cane. Snope. You can make it really cold in there. You can make it smell like rotten onions in there. In the queue line, because in our soundstage at least, we have the extended queue for Transformers, right? And then it leads into a queue on the inside of the soundstage, and then you actually go into the maze. They always just blast music, so they can just be blasting nonstop. I wouldn't touch you with that music just playing no matter what. Just blasting in people's ears and really getting them to feel and scaring the living hell out of them. And like I said, this will ruin people's childhood, so it's a win-win for me, really.
All right, and my next maze is going to be a sequel to an original that was in Orlando, but we're going to throw it over to Hollywood. It's called Giggles Gore 2. Hollywood Takeover. Now, if you guys don't know what Giggles Gore is, it is a clown factory in which they just show you how clowns are produced in a way. Basically saying clowns aren't like people. They're just made in a factory. And they just feed them like Woody Woodpecker to make them go insane. Or they just... I'm not even kidding. It was in the house. And then... like, it's the first thing you saw in that house. There was just a dummy strapped down to the wall. And they had like Woody Woodpecker on her face. Like projected on her face. Like the show. Like if you look up the walkthrough for it, you'll see it. But this is going to be a small little take. It's going to show you... It's going to take you way back. It's going to show you where Sweet Licks came from. And it's going to show you where Hollywood Harry came from. Basically giving you an origin story to both of them. Allowing you to see where these two clowns came from and why they do what they do. I just feel like this can really work. And it's going to tie into the scare zone that I'm going to place right in front of it as well. But we're going to talk about that later on. So, do you guys have questions about this house? Because I don't really know how to explain it besides the fact that it's a clown factory.
So, is Jack going to be featured in this?
Well, I mean, if we're going with our theme, Jack's Hollywood Hellhole,
Yeah, because
there has to be a reason that Giggles Gore came over to Hollywood.
Yeah, our main theme for the Hollywood event is Jack's Hollywood Hellhole, which is what Michael came up with. So, I feel like you just have to have Jack in it.
So, if anything, we can have Jack be the ringleader or like the owner of the factory.
He's the one that's sewing them together.
He's the one that's basically making these clowns. He's the one that's gene splicing, if you want to say. We're Jurassic Worlding these clowns. That's what we're doing.
Jurassic Worlding. You're just putting a bunch of crazy crap.
We're just putting a bunch of things into a clown.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jack.
Clowns with chainsaw hands.
Clowns.
Wait, this isn't Parisian, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, then you
I
had
know
to pull
this
off
one.
a miracle.
Huh?
You have to pull off a miracle in Parisian. You have to use the whole
Well-
gauntlet in the Universal Plaza.
Well, here's the thing. Like, the facade itself is going to be simple. It's literally going to be exactly what it was for Orlando. It's going to be a factory.
Which is perfect size right there. I mean, they put the Michael Myers house there. They put the, obviously, Castle Frankenstein. So.
And then in that exact, like, the courtyard gauntlet, they can just have different types of clowns there with chainsaws if you want. Or however you want to set that up.
Oh, in the plaza or right before the facade?
Before the facade.
Oh, okay. So, like, with the Universal Monsters, they had, before you go into the actual maze, they had the villagers coming after you.
Oh.
Yeah.
If anything, we can have protesters. People that don't want that to be there.
Ooh, that'd be a good idea.
Trying to think. What else could you add to that? I mean, do you at least have like an ending scene? At least an idea for an ending scene?
So if I say that, I'm going to give away my scare zone.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, then are you going to present that scare zone today?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not going to leave everyone on. I'm not going to leave everyone on.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't be like, and wait till part 4.
Yeah.
All right.
They've waited this long for part 3.
2021.
All right, then we'll retouch this one. Then we'll go right into
We'll get back on
Michael's.
that.
Yeah. Right into Michael's second one, which I'm excited about to hear.
Me too.
My second house, the one that I keep pushing for either event to have, because this movie needs to have its own house, and the company that works on this movie needs to have its name cleared when it comes to HHN houses. Because when it comes to HHN houses, Blumhouse is god awful.
Hey, no, wait, you're gonna have people attack you on that, Michael.
I don't care.
Someone is in this,
Fucking come at me.
This conversation right now.
Come at me.
2017. The Horrors of Blumhouse, 2017.
That house was okay. The
Horrors of
second house was
Blumhouse
terrible.
Is garbage.
The first
Anyway,
one
though,
was good for us in Orlando. The first one.
it was eh.
It was good.
No. But anyway, in terms of Men in Black tent houses, it was terrible.
Actually, I still stand by the fact that I think that's my second favorite house that was in that.
And
that
in
location.
terms of being in Hollywood, they're both terrible.
But
One is better than the other.
anyway,
I wouldn't doubt.
though. So this house is Blumhouse Presents Halloween 2018. Or just Halloween. And just Halloween, because at that point, Blumhouse worked on that film. They didn't work on any of the other ones.
Most of the general
if you
public are thinking of the Halloween that they just recently watched.
I think regardless, if you put Halloween and it's a name grabber, people are just going to be like, "Oh my gosh,
Exactly.
I know that."
Yeah. So it's pretty much self-explanatory. It's going to follow the story of the 2018 Halloween film. It's going to have certain scenes that will be implemented, such as like the courtyard where the reporter shows Michael with the mask. So like the big courtyard in the penitentiary, or yeah. So like where that big area where you have all those like crazy convicts like making the whole bunch of noises as he's holding up the mask. The dogs barking, like that whole entire scene is going to play out in the house. And then you're going to have the facade is going to be the Laurie's compound. So it's going to be the facade is going to be the front of her house, of the compound house, but then scattered around the entrance, because this is located at Mummy. So there's going to be like a little bit of area in front that you can like probably like put some like mannequin props from her like shooting range that she has in her compound. You'll probably have like the gate that they had to like buzz in through as well at the very beginning of the film. So you have that there as well, and that'll be a part of the whole facade. And then in the house, there also I want there to be the backyard scene where like the lights turn on and off, and you see like Michael slowly move closer to the, what's his name? I can't remember, the fat kid. The fat kid that freaking gets his head like caught on a on like the fence. Yeah, the fence spike just right through his neck.
God, I need to rewatch that movie.
And then the scene where Laurie's at the shooting range, I would like to include that as well. Different aspects in the house will be like different parts of the neighborhood, as well as like the forest outside of Laurie's compound. And then the final scene is where you see Michael looking through the grate of the basement as the basement door, as the house starts to burn to the ground.
So
I don't know how you do
get
that.
burned down then.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
well, I feel like
you
you have to make that scene a little bit bigger, like the basement door, like a little bit bigger. Just because obviously, like if you're walking through a maze, it's just a small little basement door. Nobody's gonna notice it. I feel like it'd be cool to have a scare actor in there too.
Oh
Just
yeah.
That's great for like a hidden scare. You know how you hear Michael's breathing at the end of the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically, have that scare there, and then have a Michael on the opposite side of you, coming out.
Or like have like what Orlando does, where we like right after you get through to the end of like a house, you have that like black curtain area before you actually walk out. You will have that where it's like playing the breathing, and then behind the curtain, Michael pops out as your last scare.
And he's like burnt or something.
Yeah.
Which, oh god, I'm really hoping this is one of those like ones that we've been talking about this the whole series. There's some in here that could happen. There's some that are just completely out of our imagination. But this is one of those ones that could happen, especially next year with Halloween 2 coming out. Like it has to happen. They can't just not give it to the fans. It has to happen.
It's a perfect opportunity. Like,
Scrap TCM, man.
Yeah.
keep them both.
I would like this to come. I've been saying that ever since this movie released, I've wanted this to come. I thought it was coming last year, and then I thought it was coming this year, and it didn't happen either years. And now I hope it comes next year to either coast, because I'm like, come on, you have the second film coming out. Use this as like as promotion for the second movie. Come on, give it to us.
You know, it's funny because like literally, in 2018, we were supposed to have Halloween 2018, and then that got scrapped, and then it was going to be Conjuring, and then that got scrapped, and then it was Halloween 4. And then, wait, was Halloween 4 last year or the year before that?
Halloween 4 was 2018.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sticking to my idea that it's gonna be a trilogy house whenever they finish the third film.
See, that'll suck though,
No,
man.
that'll be
It
so
has-
bad.
Exactly,
But
because you can.
that's
They're
what they're
all
looking
about
at,
bringing
though.
back monsters and everything, and bringing back all these repeat mazes / houses. Bring back Halloween 3 years in a row. As long as you do it right, it's fine because it's a completely different storyline.
Yeah, see, here's the thing, because I know if you guys watch the other episodes that we worked on, the first 2 parts of this, I did Halloween 3. See, these 2 houses were interchangeable. They could have 2018 could have gone to Orlando and Halloween 3 could have gone to Hollywood, but I decided to do it this way because I think Orlando can do a better job at Halloween 3.
Well,
But
they can.
anyways, and I think that this house is extremely easy for
I think that
Hollywood
Hollywood
to
could
do.
do Halloween 2018 better just because of Murdy's relationship with Blum.
yeah.
That's why I think that they can do it better.
Did you see what he did to the girl?
That was Murdy's creation, though. That wasn't Blum's creation. Hey,
Exactly.
I know a lot of people hated on the first Purge maze, but if you guys walk through it, it was fun. Like, it just was fun. It was a fun maze.
I didn't go through it.
It was a fun maze after a while. The movie shouldn't have been even transitioned into a maze to begin with, but it was fun. But now we're diving into scare zones. I'll kick it off with my scare zone, which, funny that we mentioned Hollywood. My scare zone is called Black Wallz, with a Z. Black
Z's
walls.
means scary.
So I'm taking
The Z is for
the
pizzazz.
I'm taking the backlot gauntlet area. Okay, so in recent years, fans of Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood have been upset and have made fun of the transition scenes that have been implemented by Universal Creative, deemed as black walls. This year, they are no laughing matter. Travel through a gauntlet of nothing but black walls. But be careful, as through the gauntlet, lurking in the shadows are terrifying creatures and monsters who camouflage and jump out when you least expect them to. Are you brave enough to step foot into the black walls gauntlet? Alright, I know what you're thinking. It sounds stupid. It is stupid. Alright? No, it's stupid. It's a stupid idea. But this would be especially next year, right? Universal is going to have such a tight budget next year, if Halloween Horror Nights happens in Hollywood. So, why not meme the community a little bit? You know, we've spent all these years memeing HHN. Why not meme the community? So, a couple notes about this. There's going to be black lights that will flicker off and on when a scare actor pops out. The purpose of the black light is going to be that the scare actor's costume and mask will be covered in blacklight reflective paint and only appear when that scare happens. So there's going to be different trigger scares where that will trigger the black lights to flick on, and then you'll be able to see the scare actor out of camouflage with blacklight reflective paint. So it's going to make a great scare. Really cheap scare zone, really funny idea. And it's going to be sort of like a gauntlet. And I don't know what you do. You could even put props in there too with blacklight on it, you know? And
More black walls.
It could be just like, it could be something for the community.
Different sizes.
There's going to be
sizes
a
of
black wall
walls.
scare that has a black wall as the scare actor.
No, it's gonna be what's it called? It's gonna be like a giant marquee of Stranger Things with a black light on it, Stranger Things 2, and then it's gonna flicker on. You're just gonna see Stranger Things 2 as a marquee. Just a little bit of shade there,
Man.
and just stuff like that, man. I'd laugh my ass off if this actually happened.
No,
It'd
man,
be
you just
so
gotta call
funny.
this scare zone memes with a Z.
Memes with a Z. No, I was like, okay, doing a black wall scare zone. Oh wait, I had to add a Z to it. Scratch the S. I had to black walls. That's my pitch for a black walls scare zone. Little
like
something
black
to
walls.
meme the community a little bit. But I'm sure you guys have better scare zones than me. So
Alright,
we'd move
am I going
to.
or are you going, Michael?
Doesn't matter to me.
Alright, I'll go ahead. So at the end of Giggles Gore, there will be a certain clown by the name of Harry that will break loose and find a bunch of dogs. This scare zone will be called Harry's Dogs with a
Harry's
Z.
bitches.
Exactly. So essentially, you're gonna see the beginning of Harry finding his dogs, like his. That's what they're called, right? They're his dogs of war, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, there was really no name for them. It was just, they'd always say, like, on the Terror Channel, naughty bad doggies with big saws in their hands.
Exactly.
That's what
but
they
we
say.
never knew why they were there. You're going to find that out
Or
at the
why
end
they had
of...
saws in their hand.
Or why they had saws for hands. Come on. So in Harry's Dogs, you're going to find a combination of clowns and dogs with chainsaws. Not actual, like, four-legged dogs. People with a dog's mask. And essentially, Harry's sending his dogs after the clowns. But they're both going to team up and try to take you down as well. Because they don't like any trespassers on the property of the big building that is Giggles Gore.
Oh, okay. And you said that's why you're taking the front scare zone, right?
The front scare zone. So I feel like that can really work because you'll have an aspect of two different type of scare actors, different kinds of clowns, different species of dogs, why not? And it'll be kind of like Spirits and Demons, but with different sizes of clowns.
Wait,
because you can just go with clowns.
You know
through
what
the
you
years.
should do?
What's
Since
up?
you're doing Parisian, instead of taking
Mhm.
scare zone 1, do the scare zone that's outside of that Parisian.
Like at the exit of the house.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do
That
that.
makes sense, you know? That would make sense, I guess.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
that. We'll take that one. We'll take that one.
And then we can
We'll take
extend
that
it
for
all the way
1,000.
to we can extend it all the way to Potter.
Exactly. So it's a house and a scare zone all in one.
All the way to Potter.
All the way to Potter.
No, I think that I'd like to see more of Harry's dogs. Like we only saw them for the Terror Tram, so I want them to return. They're cool characters and they're funny. I like when during Chainsaw Chase Out, they were doing what's the one in Fortnite where they do this dance, whatever it's called.
Oh, the shooting.
Yeah, whatever. There's some
Yeah, I
there's
remember
some
that's
dog
called.
that was just doing that like during Chainsaw Chase Out on the final night with the chainsaw in his hand. It was great.
Oh my.
It was wonderful. I miss those dogs. Naughty bad dogs with big saws in their hands. That's literally like everybody like that was an HHN fan would quote that shit when they're on the Terror Channel like naughty bad doggies with big saws in their hands.
That's the first thing I'm gonna say when I show up at Hollywood.
Like where's the naughty bad doggies?
With big saws in their hands.
They're gonna be like, oh, this guy knows about hornets. Hold on.
Hornets man. Michael, what's your scare zone?
So this is a very short explanation of this scare zone. The scare zone is called Little Red Riding Hood Werewolf Hunter. So this zone is going to be littered
all.
with huh?
That is all.
That is pretty much.
That's all.
No,
That's
this
the whole
is self-explanatory. I'm gonna be honest. It's self-explanatory. No, but it's gonna be littered with a whole bunch of werewolves, and I want these costumes to be like detailed as hell, like fucking like Yeti level detailed,
Okay.
like full body costumes.
So in other words, it's gonna be hard for the characters to walk around. I like it.
yes,
Thank you.
we want it to be difficult for them, but if they're gonna look terrifying. But anyways, so they're being hunted and killed by Little Red Riding Hood, as well as there'll be like townsfolk with like pitchforks and torches, and then there'll also be lumberjacks and stuff. There'll be different set pieces that'll be like grandma's house, like trees lining the streets as well to like have it look like a forest. What else could there be? Yes, Adrian.
Can we add the werewolves that were in American Werewolf and in Trick or Treat, like the actual molds?
Yes.
And
Oh, I
it
thought you
was-
meant just throw them in there as the same character. I'm like, why?
No, just throw them as in like backdrop props.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, I would like the scare actors to look exactly like that.
I don't know why they haven't capitalized on this like terrifying story, like a Little Red Riding Hood, you know?
It's called
Like-
Scary Tales.
Yeah, well.
Well, wait, Little Red Riding Hood isn't in Scary Tales, is she?
I was gonna say I don't think I remember seeing in Scary Tales.
Okay. There are 4 different Scary Tales iterations.
I'd like to do a fact
The
check
one
on
that I went through, she wasn't in, so therefore she's not in any of them.
Yeah.
She wasn't in one, so she wasn't in any of them. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for that one.
All right. Well,
The other one's so
obviously-
much better. You'll have to wait for that one.
Well, I'm excited. Part 4 coming in a month and a half.
2021.
Get ready for 2021.
And now we move into the last part, which is shows.
Oh, God.
I'm doing a returning one in a way, which some of you like OG HHN fans will know of. I never got to watch this, but I watched it on YouTube. SlaughterWorld, which is going to be in the Waterworld stage, obviously. It's not going to be called just SlaughterWorld, though. It's SlaughterWorld, the Deacon's widow. The dreaded Deacon has been killed at the hands of the Mariner. However, his wife still lives on, seeking her revenge on Helen and the Mariner during a Halloween Horror Nights exclusive nighttime spectacular. Watch as the Deacon's wife and her rated R henchwoman seek to take down the Mariner once and for all with death-defying stunts and action. So obviously there's going to be crude humor and adult content throughout this show. Jokes will be made about popular topics throughout the show. Obviously, we're going to have to dial it down a little bit with what's been going on. But this will be 2021, So maybe good stuff will happen. Maybe Miley Cyrus will get canceled for something stupid or something. The pre-show will feature the Deacon as a zombie, scaring guests in the stands and spraying them with water. So when it's 45 degrees at Horror Nights at 10 o'clock at night, the Deacon's going to come around, all zombie fight and everything, and spray you with water. Sounds like a delightful time, right? And, one lucky guest will get a bucket poured on top of them.
Nice.
Yeah, you just.
Do they at least get a dry set of clothes for free?
Nope.
Yeah, no, they'll provide you with a shirt that says.
They give you a slightly used towel.
No, it'll be
The
an
Deacon
extra.
splashed me.
It will be a 5X shirt that says "I love the Deacon."
Perfect.
So no matter who's wearing it,
mint.
it'll be too big. So yeah, this show will just be basically the Deacon's wife taking over and trying to stop the Mariner. Obviously, there'll be flames, there'll be action. There's all this fun stuff, and I guess I'm kind of spoiled because we have Waterworld here in Hollywood, and Waterworld is such a good show. Like it's such a phenomenal show. And I watch it a lot, and when that park's actually open, and a lot of people watch it a lot. It's a great show, so I'm really bummed that I didn't get to check out the original SlaughterWorld, which was only there for a year, I think. I just wish that we got something like that. Obviously, we had Bill and Ted for a while, which was kind of on the adult rated side, and now we have nothing because in Universal Hollywood compared to Universal Orlando, it's just a lot more toned down, which kind of sucks. I mean, we couldn't even do the Purge auction scene anymore after the first 2 weeks. So I want some rated R content coming back to the Hollywood event. And SlaughterWorld, the Deacon's widow, is perfect.
Bill and Ted save the Jabbawockeez. Now, why are Bill and Ted saving the Jabbawockeez? Well, it says that through the years, people have not liked this Jabberwocky show. They say it's the same thing. So the show is going to start. It's going to be the same thing that you've seen the past few years. But as soon as, if I'm not mistaken, he falls asleep or he goes into another dimension, something like that.
Who, the Jabbawockeez?
Yes, one of them. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that storyline's been there for a while.
Okay, so when he falls asleep, the whole because it's indoors, correct?
Yeah, special
The whole
effects
thing
stage show.
The whole thing goes dark. A time booth will show up on the screen. You'll see lightning hit the booth, and then Bill and Ted will show up. They're gonna be like, "What is up, audience dudes?" They're gonna ask everyone what's going on. Everyone's gonna go crazy, and then they're just gonna see a Jabberwocky show up on the screen, and they're gonna notice that he's stuck in another dimension/time zone. So they're gonna use their time booth to try to find him, but on their travels, they're gonna go past old Horror Nights past. So they're gonna see the Deacon, they're gonna see Jack, they're gonna see the director. Everyone's going to come in. It's going to be basically like a big anniversary show type of thing. But they're just trying to save the Jabbawockeez here.
There's going to be a black wall, and they're going to tackle it.
They're going to knock down the black wall scare.
They're going to spear it into the crowd.
They're going to go back to the year that their show got canceled. They're going to accidentally show up at the hanging. Just for one joke. They're just going to look at it and be like, at Nods. They're
gonna throw shade at Nods. Okay.
They're gonna throw shade at Nods. They're gonna throw shade at Disney. They're gonna throw shade at everything you can think of. Cause I can't think of Bill and Ted without them throwing shade at things.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. And then, they're just gonna go and continue everything on. They're gonna bring the Jabbawockeez out. It's gonna be that one big, at the end of every Bill and Ted show, at least in Orlando. I don't know if it's the same in Hollywood. They had a huge dance number. We're just gonna have a huge dance number featuring Bill and Ted, and then all the characters that were featured, as well as the Jabbawockeez.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna have a dance number with Bill and Ted and the Jabbawockeez.
Yeah, you got to see air guitars. You got to see a bunch of sexy dancers. You got to bring those back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But not too sexy. Remember.
Not too sexy. We're gonna
Yeah,
go
keep this PG.
Yeah, I gotta keep
PG-13.
a horror themed event PG.
Oh, that's right. We can't talk about 91 Devok.
What?
91 Devok.
What is that?
I don't know what that is. Oh, backwards. Okay, yeah. 91 Devok, yeah. COVID-19.
Oh. Wow. I learned something new today.
Took you long enough. All right, good job.
Okay, I like it. It's a perfect crude show too, just to go with SlaughterWorld. Single. I'm assuming your show's nothing like that.
What happened? Wait, what were you
saying? See, you say about the whole jokes about 91 Devok, but I went on Jungle Cruise once and they made a joke about it already.
Okay, that's a fair point. And that's
I was like, what?
Like,
Excuse me,
sir. We're in the middle of a pandemic still,
and you're still making a joke about it. Good for you, I guess. No, my show's still pretty bad. So my show, I don't know what the last location that's available is, but
me and Adrian agreed to make this location Animal Actors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's right next to the special effects, and right across from Potter.
Okay, sure.
Hey man, it goes in with the show, with the scare zone. There you go, got another clown.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect. All right. Anyways, so this show is called, and going in with the whole theme that we have, which is Jack's Hollywood Hellhole, this is Jack's Hollywood Stalk of Fame. Play on words. Walk of Fame, Stalk of Fame, Haha, funny. Anyways, this is a comedic and dark kill show hosted by Jack the Clown, and has Jack leading a fake casting agency called Scarapy Industries, as he is the head casting director, where he brings in Hollywood hopeful actors with the promise of landing their next big role. The only thing is that this audition will be their last. During the show, we see many of Jack's iconic kills, such as the blender and the wheel of misfortune, all being part of their whole audition process, which he'll bring the true fear that is which is what the director does. So the director will probably make a appearance in this, getting mad at Jack for pretty much stealing his shtick, where he gets he gets true fear out of people. So he'll make a couple appearances, but then yeah.
He'll just show up too late. He'll sound like Swiper and Dora. He'll just like, "Aw, man."
Yeah.
Like, he'll show up like after every time the freaking, like, Jack will literally do exactly what the director would do. He'd be like, all right, and action, and like freaking do the whole thing as like the blender's going off, and then the director come in and he'll be like, oh man, and then walk out.
No, it's like Jack has the director's camera and everything. He just
literally.
His name
literally
says, "My name is Paulo."
Hi, my name is.
He has a name tag that says Paulo.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Paulo. Perfect.
Oh,
okay, so yeah, then Animal Actors is perfect because you can just set up like similar to like what they do with the Fear Factor stage. You set up a whole new complete stage. You just put that right in front of the Animal Actors one.
Yeah, honestly, I have a feeling that'll be similar to, like, the whole, like, stage itself would be similar to what they did for, was it the Carnival of Carnage? Or Carnage Returns? Yeah, for 25. Yeah, similar to that, but all the props that are going to be scattered are all going to be from Hollywood, not from Orlando. But so yeah, there's going to be that, and then there's going to be like different parts of the facade. Probably the what's it called? The doorway from House of a Thousand with the skull head. That'll probably be part of the background. What else?
Tram.
What other like? Yeah, the tram will just be chilling in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Like part of the tram will just be chilling over there. What other Hollywood staples of HHN could be put in there?
Have
Log Bunny.
yeah.
Universal the Universal fucking
you can have the ice cream truck
Yeah, the ice cream truck that's used over here.
or a cone.
A cone.
the sign for the Universal Monsters, like they're the actual like haunted house that you guys had for the longest time.
Like
the
big
House of
archway.
Horrors.
Yes, House of
Yeah.
Horrors.
You
That's
can
it.
have that giant La Llorona puppet.
Oh,
Just in there.
the Walking Dead crashed helicopter that they removed, and then they removed the whole attraction because it was bad. What?
Bro, all three of these shows need to make fun of that fucking need to make fun of that attraction.
The Walking Dead. They just need to throw
Yes.
shade at it.
Just shade.
God, we have some good show ideas. I feel like this whole show that we're filming was a good show, and trust me, there's gonna be a part 4 to this, where we talk about our Jack's Hollywood Hellhole maze, and I'll be presenting my other 2 mazes. Michael and Adrian will be presenting their other 1 maze. I think this is a good show. What do you have to add, Adrian?
We are also adding our scare zones.
Yeah, on our second scare zone. Yeah, this was a good show. I enjoyed this one, and I think we all have great ideas. I think that, okay, at least for me, I like my mazes a little bit better than the ones I did for Orlando. Maybe that's just because I'm more used to Hollywood. And I enjoy how much we talked about Black Walls.
I think the highlight of today is Black Wallz with a Z.
We need to make a Black Walls like song. You know, just like write it down real quick, sing different lines, and then present it live
And present it live.
at Horror Nights.
Sang
nice.
by Slash.
Sang by Slash.
Music by Slash.
Yes,
He just-
Sang by
Black
Billie Eilish.
Walls.
Never
Black
mind.
Wall. Black Walls. Music by Slash.
He's just sitting there with the guitar like Black Walls.
Yep.
If you guys are
Welcome
new
to
here,
the Black Walls.
if you guys are new here and you're listening on YouTube, subscribe to both my channel and Losh's channel, and click the link down below to subscribe to Michael's channel, Hallowed Thrills, LoshTV, and SoCalExploring. We'll be releasing a track soon. It's going to be called Black Walls. We'll get
With
right
a
to
Z.
working on it for you guys, and
With
we're
a
going to go
Z.
get a label to send to sign us, and we'll make
We're gonna
UMG.
submit.
UMG.
UMG. And please tune in for part 4 coming out soon within the next 3 weeks or so. We still got to work on it. Like we've been saying, this has been a month's process, and I'm excited that we're getting to the finale episode, and we're gonna
I feel
do
like we've actually done something.
a rankings episode. I know, right? We've accomplished something.
Yeah.
But for
I
real
also
though,
want to say, before we sign off,
Mhm.
happy holidays to everyone, because I'm not sure if we're going to make another episode before the end of the year.
yeah, happy
Hope everyone
holidays,
has a safe
guys.
Christmas, Hanukkah,
Kwanzaa.
whatever you guys celebrate.
New Year's.
Hope you guys
Merry
have a great
Christmas,
New Year's.
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
And don't be an idiot and go out to massive parties.
Yeah, exactly. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Also, stay hollowed. Stay excellent.
Hallowed
Stay
save.
hollowed.
Keep exploring.
Positivity is key, guys. We keep it nothing but positive here.
All positivity
As we go on a
No
road
cap.
for an hour and a half about Black Wolves.
about Black Walls.
No cap.
No cap.
I've been one of your
No.
hosts, Scott from SoCalExploring.
I've been Michael from Hallowed Thrills.
I think I'm Adrian from LoshTV.
And I know for a fact that we're Horror Nights Unscripted, and you should tune into all of our episodes. So, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.